Ancient Egypt, often regarded as the cradle of civilization, stands as a timeless testament to human ingenuity and innovation. Amongst the grandeur of pyramids and the mystique of pharaohs, the ancient Egyptians left an indelible mark on history by pioneering a myriad of inventions that shaped the course of human progress. From tools that made life easier to impressive structures that still awe us today, let's explore the fascinating innovations that emerged from the heart of this ancient civilization. Join us as we unravel the mysteries behind the inventions that not only served the practical needs of an ancient society but also laid the groundwork for advancements that continue to influence our modern world. Number 1. Bowling. Bowling, in various forms, has been practiced by different cultures throughout history. Nevertheless, some evidence suggests that an early form of bowling may have existed in ancient Egyptian society. The ancient Egyptians were known for their diverse leisure activities, and evidence of rudimentary forms of bowling has been found in archaeological discoveries. Some historians point to artifacts such as stone balls with finger holes, which were discovered in ancient Egyptian tombs. These artifacts have been interpreted as potential early bowling implements. Furthermore, the sport of bowling, or a precursor to it, may have had ritualistic or religious significance in ancient Egypt. Some researchers believe that ancient Egyptians engaged in a game where they rolled stones at wooden pins as part of religious ceremonies or burial rituals. However, the exact rules and objectives of such games remain speculative, as the evidence is scarce and open to interpretation. Number 2. Toothpaste. Toothpaste has a long and fascinating history that traces its roots back to ancient Egypt. The ancient Egyptians are credited with being among the earliest civilizations to develop a form of toothpaste. While their concoction differed significantly from the modern toothpaste we use today, it laid the foundation for oral hygiene practices that have evolved over thousands of years. In ancient times, the Egyptians prioritized dental care as part of their overall health and beauty regimen. Evidence suggests that as far back as 5000 BC, the Egyptians used a paste-like substance to clean their teeth. The earliest dental cream, if it can be called that, consisted of a mixture of crushed rock salt, mint, dried iris flowers, and pepper. This rudimentary toothpaste not only helped to maintain oral hygiene but also served the cosmetic purpose of freshening breath and leaving a pleasant taste in the mouth. One notable figure associated with early dental care in Egypt is the Greek physician and philosopher Hippocrates. Around 400 BC, Hippocrates recommended a mixture of alum and honey for cleaning teeth. However, it's important to note that these early toothpaste formulations were far from the sophisticated products we use today. Researchers believe that abrasives like crushed bones and oyster shells were incorporated to enhance cleaning effectiveness. Substances with natural antiseptic properties, such as myrrh and frankincense, were also added to combat bad breath and gum diseases. The concept of toothpaste gradually spread to other ancient civilizations, including the Greeks and Romans. The Roman physician Aulus Cornelius Celsus, in the 1st century AD, recommended a mixture of powdered bones and oyster shells with honey for cleaning teeth. Number 3. Police. The origins of policing can be traced back to ancient civilizations, and one of the earliest known examples comes from ancient Egypt. While the concept of organized law enforcement may not have been as sophisticated as modern police forces, there are historical records suggesting the presence of a system to maintain order and administer justice in ancient Egypt. One notable aspect of ancient Egyptian law enforcement was the existence of a specific class of officials known as medjay. The medjay were a group of people, tasked with various responsibilities including policing the borders, protecting the pharaoh and important officials, and maintaining order within the kingdom. While not an exact equivalent to modern police officers, the medjay played a crucial role in the security and stability of ancient Egyptian society. In addition to these early law enforcement practices, the ancient Egyptians also had a well-developed legal system that included courts and judges. Individuals who violated the law could be brought before these judicial authorities to face trial and receive a judgment. Number 4, paper. While the Egyptians are renowned for their advancements in various fields, including architecture, mathematics, and medicine, their contributions to the development of paper are often overshadowed by the more well-known papyrus. Papyrus, derived from the Cyperus papyrus plant, was a significant writing material in ancient Egypt. The process of making papyrus involved harvesting the plant, cutting it into strips, overlapping the strips in 2 layers, and then pounding and pressing them to create a smooth, writable surface. Despite its prevalence and success, papyrus had its limitations. It was relatively brittle and prone to deterioration in humid conditions. It was not until several centuries later, in the Islamic Golden Age, that an innovation emerged which laid the foundation for the papermaking process as we know it today. The technique of papermaking is often credited to the Chinese, who developed a method using mulberry bark, hemp, rags, and other plant fibers around the 2nd century BCE. However, it was through the Islamic world that this knowledge spread to other parts of the world, including Europe. The knowledge of papermaking reached Europe during the medieval period, thanks to the expansion of trade routes and the transfer of technologies during the Islamic Golden Age. Paper mills began to appear in Spain and Italy in the 12th century, and from there, the technology spread rapidly. By the 14th century, paper mills were established in several European countries. While the origins of papermaking are often associated with China and the Islamic world, the ancient Egyptians played a crucial role in the early development of writing materials, including papyrus. Number 5, ink. Ink, a fundamental tool for written communication, has a rich history that dates back to ancient civilizations. One of the earliest known sources of ink can be traced to ancient Egypt. The Egyptians were pioneers in developing a system of writing called hieroglyphics, and the need for a reliable writing medium led to the creation of their unique ink. The primary components of ancient Egyptian ink included soot, water, and gum arabic. Soot, obtained from burning materials like wood or oil, served as the pigment responsible for the ink's dark color. The carbon-rich soot was carefully collected and mixed with water to form a basic liquid. Gum arabic, a natural adhesive derived from the sap of the acacia tree, was then added to the mixture to enhance viscosity and adhesion. This ingenious blend of ingredients resulted in a versatile ink that could be applied to various surfaces, such as papyrus and stone. The ink adhered well to the fibrous texture of papyrus, allowing for the creation of intricate hieroglyphic scripts and detailed illustrations. The significance of ink in ancient Egyptian society extended beyond simple record-keeping. Writing played a crucial role in religious texts, administrative documents, and monumental inscriptions. The use of ink has evolved over millennia, yet its origins in the sands of ancient Egypt remain a testament to human ingenuity and the enduring power of the written word. Number 6, makeup. The use of cosmetics in ancient Egypt was not merely a cosmetic enhancement but held profound cultural, religious, and even medicinal significance. Dating back to around 3100 BCE, the ancient Egyptians were among the first to embrace the art of makeup. Both men and women utilized cosmetics for various reasons, such as protection from the harsh sun, religious rituals, and aesthetic purposes. The iconic kohl eyeliner is one of the most recognizable features of ancient Egyptian makeup. Made from a combination of galena, malachite, and other minerals, this black substance was applied around the eyes to protect against the sun's glare, and ward off evil spirits. In addition to kohl, other popular makeup items included lip color, face powders, and perfumes. These cosmetics were not only a means of enhancing beauty but also carried symbolic importance. For instance, the red and black pigments were associated with the goddess Hathor and were believed to have protective and magical properties. Both men and women adorned themselves with cosmetics during religious ceremonies, as a way to honor the gods and connect with the divine. The famous Queen Cleopatra is often cited as a symbol of ancient Egyptian beauty, known for her elaborate makeup routines and the use of bold colors to accentuate her features. Number 7. Calendar. The origins of the calendar can be traced back to ancient Egypt, where the ancient Egyptians developed one of the earliest known systems for organizing time. The Egyptian calendar played a crucial role in the daily lives of the people, helping them schedule agricultural activities, religious ceremonies, and other important events. The ancient Egyptian calendar was a solar calendar, meaning it was based on the position of the sun. It consisted of 12 months, each with 30 days, and an additional 5 or 6 intercalary days at the end of the year. This made the Egyptian calendar a 365-day calendar, quite close to the solar year. However, the calendar did not account for the extra fraction of a day in the solar year, leading to a gradual misalignment with the actual astronomical year. One notable aspect of the Egyptian calendar was its connection to religious practices. The months and seasons were linked to various deities and festivals, reflecting the close intertwining of religious beliefs and daily life in ancient Egyptian society. The new year, for example, was associated with the rising of the star Sirius, which heralded the beginning of the annual flooding of the Nile. The ancient Egyptian calendar underwent modifications over time, with different pharaohs and rulers occasionally adjusting its structure. Despite its limitations and inaccuracies, the Egyptian calendar laid the groundwork for future calendar systems in the ancient world. Its influence can be seen in the development of later calendars, including the Roman calendar, which, in turn, influenced the modern Gregorian calendar that is widely used today. Number 8. Frying food. The history of frying can be traced back to ancient Egypt, where this culinary technique was born out of necessity and ingenuity. The Egyptians, known for their advanced civilization and rich cultural practices, developed various cooking methods to enhance the flavor and preservation of their food. Frying, in particular, became a distinctive culinary practice that set them apart from other ancient societies. In ancient Egypt, the primary source of cooking fuel was olive oil. Olive trees were cultivated extensively, and the extraction of oil became a common practice. The Egyptians discovered that immersing food in hot oil not only cooked it thoroughly, but also created a crisp texture and unique flavor. The innovation of frying also allowed the Egyptians to explore a wide range of culinary possibilities. They experimented with different ingredients, including vegetables, fruits, and even dough, creating a diverse array of fried dishes. These culinary creations not only satisfied their taste buds, but also showcased the Egyptians' culinary prowess and creativity in the kitchen. The knowledge of frying eventually spread to other ancient civilizations through trade and cultural exchanges. As different cultures adopted and adapted this cooking technique, it evolved and diversified, giving rise to various fried dishes across the world. Number 9. Board games. Ancient Egyptians were known for their sophisticated culture, advanced knowledge, and various forms of entertainment, including board games that provided both recreation and intellectual stimulation. While specific details about the rules and gameplay of these ancient Egyptian board games are not always clear due to the passage of time, archaeological evidence and historical references shed light on their existence. One of the most famous ancient Egyptian board games is Senet. Senet is believed to be one of the oldest board games in the world, with evidence suggesting its existence as far back as 3100 BCE. The game has been found in tombs and burial sites, indicating its significance in the afterlife. Senet boards typically featured a grid of 30 squares, arranged in 3 rows of 10. Players used game pieces, usually made from materials like wood or ivory, and threw sticks or knucklebones to determine the number of spaces to move. The game's exact rules are not fully understood, but it is generally believed that players aim to move their pieces across the board while avoiding obstacles, and perhaps engaging in symbolic challenges related to the journey to the afterlife. Another notable ancient Egyptian board game is Mehen, named after the serpent deity Mehen. The game's distinctive feature was its circular board, symbolizing the coiled serpent. While the precise rules and gameplay mechanics of these ancient Egyptian board games may remain somewhat elusive, their existence and cultural importance are evident. Number 10. Furniture. The development of furniture in ancient Egypt was closely intertwined with the civilization's evolution, spanning several millennia from around 3100 BCE to 30 BCE. One of the most iconic pieces of furniture associated with ancient Egypt is the throne. Thrones were symbolic representations of power and authority, often adorned with intricate carvings, precious metals, and gemstones. These thrones were not only functional seats but also served as powerful symbols of the ruler's legitimacy. Another common type of furniture in ancient Egypt was the bed. The beds of the elite were often made of wood, featuring elaborate carvings and inlays. In contrast, simpler versions were crafted for commoners. The art of furniture making in ancient Egypt was not limited to practical items, it extended to religious and ceremonial furniture as well. Temples and tombs contained specially crafted furniture to serve the needs of the gods, or the deceased in the afterlife. Number 11. Police dogs. While the history of police dogs is often associated with more recent times, the use of canines in law enforcement can be traced back to ancient civilizations, including ancient Egypt. The role of dogs in Egyptian society extended beyond mere companionship, and they were valued for their intelligence, loyalty, and ability to assist humans in various tasks. The Egyptians recognized the keen sense of smell and exceptional hearing abilities of dogs, qualities that would later make them valuable assets in law enforcement. In the realm of law enforcement, ancient Egyptians employed dogs for security purposes, protecting homes, temples, and other important structures. The concept of using dogs for tracking and apprehending criminals was not as formalized as modern police practices, but their innate skills were recognized and utilized in various capacities. The ancient Egyptians held a deep appreciation for symbolism and religious beliefs, and dogs were no exception. The jackal-headed god Anubis, associated with mummification in the afterlife, exemplifies the cultural significance of canines in ancient Egyptian mythology. This connection may have influenced the perception of dogs as protectors and guardians. Number 12. Zoo. The concept of a zoo, or a facility dedicated to the exhibition and care of wild animals, has roots that stretch back to ancient civilizations. While the modern zoo as we know it, did not emerge until much later, there is evidence to suggest that ancient Egypt played a significant role in the early development of this idea. In ancient Egypt, the fascination with wildlife was deeply ingrained in the culture, closely tied to religious beliefs, artistic expressions, and the daily lives of the people. The Egyptians revered many animals, considering them sacred and often associating them with various deities. The prominence of animals in their daily lives led to the creation of spaces where these creatures could be kept, studied, and venerated. One notable example is the ancient city of Hierakonpolis, where archaeological evidence suggests the existence of an early form of animal collection. Hieroglyphics and depictions found in the region depict the Egyptians capturing and housing a variety of wild animals, showcasing their interest in both exotic and local species. Animals such as lions, elephants, crocodiles, and various exotic birds were kept in captivity for religious ceremonies, royal exhibitions, and public viewings. People would visit these sacred precincts to witness and worship these revered animals, creating a rudimentary form of what we might recognize as a zoo today. Thanks for watching, see you next week.